If you steal my lunch, beware of the danger when you mess with me. Several years ago I worked at a place and I would bring with me my special experience homemade meals for lunch. Someone started stealing my lunches and I suspected a certain person, and that person had a nut allergy. So one day I packed a meal containing walnuts, and next thing I know one of my coworkers had a swollen face, had trouble breathing, and needed to be rushed to the hospital. Not my fault you had allergies and still decide to steal other people's lunches. Sorry. I simply had a craving for walnuts that day. Stealing lunches with a bad allergy is just playing with fire. Did you go ask them the next day if they enjoyed these nuts? I'm severely allergic to nuts. I approve of this. I prefer just kicking the heat on my lunch up a few notches. I can eat something that makes my nose run for lunch fine. But if I do that for supper, I'll be up at 2 a.m. with reflux. So I do that for my lunches. I have yet to see someone steal a hot meal from me twice. First time food goes missing. It could be an accident or medical issue. Second time it goes missing, I make some really tasty meals with habanero and Scotch bonnet. If someone steals that and hadn't learned their lesson, the next meals I either use my own chili powder or chili oil. I would have acted confused. Like, I heard you ate nuts and had an allergic reaction. But why would you eat nuts if you're deathly allergic? I don't understand, because then other people would start to put pieces together that they were taking other people's foods, which is totally stupid if you have allergies. Especially dangerous, life-threatening ones. There was this girl in high school who would always ask me for money for lunch. Eventually I told her I had no money. So she started asking for my actual meal. She was vegetarian and hated spicy food, so I'd just constantly bring meat and spicy food. She eventually stopped asking and even came up to me and ended our friendship by telling me she heard me spread rumors about her. I never even talked about her to anyone, and she couldn't be friends with someone like that anymore. She was just mad she couldn't use me anymore, lol. I assume a lesson was learned. I put laxatives in some of my foods because I have digestive issues. If someone tried to steal food, they'd likely have regrets. It would be even more regretful because I share my untampered food a lot. Because I work in emergency and have access to all sort of goodies. No one dares to eat from another. Because if you do, you get the Danube flow. You sleep and you shit and piss on yourself. For about 3-4 hours. Worked with a guy that had his pizza eaten several times, so he pissed on it and put in work frig. Then when it was gone, he told the guy that he thought was doing it what he did. Eater cried to our. They said, so you stole his food? Maybe you shouldn't take others' food. Nothing was done about it. Justice served. This dude was a dirty dude. Honestly think he rubbed one out on it too. I bought a luggage lock for my lunch bag. Thank God the person survived. And I hope the experience put him off ever touching anyone else's food without asking. Stealing unknown food while living with severe food allergies sounds like an effective way to earn a Darwin Award. Anyone with something like a nut allergy is especially stupid to mess with other people's food. Good, well deserved. Can't even argue that someone was trying to poison him like some have done before with something like laxatives, cause it's your food you made for yourself and you don't have a nut allergy. Had a roommate who was a massive, selfish pig. And although he and his wife and I shared food expenses, he'd consume an entire large bag of sliced ham. leaving none left for anyone else. Teeth marks in the cheese. Because he's too lazy to cut some off. He found a bar of chocolate in the fridge one day and ate it all. It was cannabis chocolate. He hallucinated white ants for 3 days and crapped all over his bedroom. Someone was stealing the chocolate milk I'd bring in, not every day. More like every other day. One morning I bought a carton with an exceptionally long time before its expiration date. I carried it to my desk and left it there for close to 2 weeks, still several days before the marked expiration date. Then I put it in the office fridge. My milk was never stolen again. We had some guy steal the food and then got diarrhea really bad for 2 days. Ha ha ha. GIF emote free emotes pack poop. How you like these nuts, bro? Did it ever get reported to HR? He absolutely got what he deserved. FAFO. Karma. LOL. Petty revenge best served with walnuts. Serious question, is this petty revenge or regular revenge? He yearns for nuts in his mouth. I've heard so many stories in my lifetime about people stealing lunches, and it's so hard to fathom that people like human being D actually go and look into a fridge and say, yes, I'll take you even though you're clearly not mine. Go and eat it and say nothing. Like what? Survival of the smartest. I leave a fork on my plate or in my food package if I pack lunch to give the image that I've already eaten some, even if I haven't. If the person wants to eat other people's bitten off food, they're another level of unhinged. Especially since I like it spicy. When your colleague returned back to work, did you ask him/her what did you eat? And you need to be more careful. Rolling on the floor laughing. I hope that person didn't have insurance and went bankrupt. It's what they deserve. This is going in my screenplay. Other people's food skeeves me out. I don't understand taking other people's food based on my inherent particularity for the foods I eat. Haha. The people in here who say you're wrong for this must also think you should make sure your lunches are non-allergenic to your whole office. Like many others here, I am suspicious of the person with nut allergies just willy-nilly stealing food without knowing what was in that food. People with food allergies tend to be super careful of what they eat. So unless they went around asking everyone what the recipe for the lunches was so they know if they're allergic. I doubt it happened this way. Sounds like fantasy revenge. And no HR department I've ever worked for would be so blasé about the allergic person having a bad reaction. Haha, nice, cool. Lol, that's so risky to steal other PPL's lunches when you have an allergy. I would add canned cat food to my lunch if it were being stolen. But kudos on the nuts. Had a problem like it once, left meatball hot pockets in the sun for 2 days, then refroze them. Waited for the perp. He had an interesting day about an hour after lunch. But after that my lunches stopped disappearing. People thinking this is attempted murder. Someone with a severe food allergy is responsible for themselves to check what they consume. Especially not to steal and eat someone else's food. Everything can contain nuts. They literally played Russian roulette with their livelihood every time they stole and ate others' food. Play stupid games. Win stupid prizes. Why is this so common? Do people not have house training? Did this idiot complain for the food? I'm curious about what he said, rolling on the floor laughing. Weird thing happening at work. People have been giving the food names. Today I had a ham sandwich called Kevin.